Okay, so now we're in the part of the vlog where I'm actually talking and I'm not just sitting here just getting angles. Anyways, we're gonna start with eye drops because girl, my eyes be dry. So it is 9 a.m. I'm currently getting ready because I have to leave. I'm gonna be using the First Aid Beauty little pad things. I usually just put this all on my face. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit. I feel like in the past videos I've talked about my struggle with making friends, and that very much is a real thing still. This is so random, but like I have neighbors, they will full on sit there and just watch me film, and it's just like the weirdest thing. I'm gonna be doing like the most basic makeup ever. I used to wear a lot of makeup like pre-pandemic, and then once we started wearing masks, I was like, yeah, this is just not functional for me. Like I'm not gonna wear 10 pounds of makeup and then put a mask over it. Like no, I just got used to not wearing a lot of makeup now. It's gonna be my first time hanging out with her. A little nervous. But yeah, the struggle of making friends is very much still real for me. But like there's a point in my life where I really genuinely thought that I would just be friendless forever. And I know it's funny, okay? I know it's funny to say friendless forever because it's like that's so extreme. Never, like you would never think of like saying that you would be friendless forever, right? I feel very discouraged. Just to paint a picture for you, like there was a girl that I met at school and she was like really cool, really sweet girl. I asked her if she wanted to hang out. She offered to like pick me up because I lived close anyways. Like I kid you not, like about 10 minutes before we hit the mall, we get in a crash. We get hit from the front, from the back. Like it was horrible. And I still have pictures in my phone of the crash to this day. That was her first crash ever, and like that was our first time hanging out. So like, can you imagine? Like I don't know if this girl is superstitious or, you know, I don't really know like where she is, you know, like that was my first time hanging out with her. It just caught me way off guard. I'm putting on sunscreen now. And that just happened one time, obviously. That doesn't happen each time I hang out with someone. That was just one of the most extreme cases in which I wanted to make a friend and just something bad happened. I'm putting on sunscreen and I look very glowy right now. And like I said, like in those times it made me feel really discouraged, and it just made me feel like, you know, the friend out there for me just didn't exist. So as I was saying, yeah, so even though I felt discouraged and I felt like I would have been friendless forever, a couple days ago on Instagram I saw this video where it talked about how there's a verse in the Bible where it talks about, instead of looking for the right friend, why don't you become the friend that you would want for yourself? And it really put everything into perspective for me. I was always looking for a friend. I was always trying to find the right person. I really put myself out there, you know, I was going places and everything. It just really put everything into perspective for me because I was always going out of my way. I was always putting in the effort. I was always trying to pour into others, you know, and I feel like I was always trying to find that person, right? It just made me really sit back and just think like, okay, maybe I should just be the friend to myself that I would want. Does that make sense? I feel like I really have been putting that into practice. I definitely have grown a sense of like independency. Like when I go out, I don't need someone to go out with me. I'm definitely okay with being by myself. I'm not gonna say that it's like peaches and cream. Like, why did I just say peaches and cream? That's not what I meant to say. Out of all things that I could have said, I said peaches and cream. I meant to say sunshine and rainbows. You know that metaphor where it's like sunshine and rainbows? I don't know why I said peaches and cream. What I'm doing right now is I'm just blending out where I spot concealed, and then I put foundation over this. Anyways, like I was saying, so I definitely have learned a sense of independency. I have definitely grown to have like a sense of independency, like not needing someone to be there. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's all been rainbows and unicorns and that like it's always been like that, because obviously there's gonna be days where like I just want a friend, you know, but I'm not gonna force it. I feel like in a sense God is calling me to be on my own and to really just work on me, because there's a lot that I need to work on. But one thing I will never do is I'm never gonna force somebody to be my friend, because I have had that happen to me where someone was only friends with me for a certain reason, or they were taking advantage. And yeah, you know? And I feel like I'm not gonna force something that's not meant to happen, because if I force it, then it's just gonna backfire on me, and I'm just gonna be having a whole bunch of friends that really don't like me but are there for whatever reason. Does that make sense? The skin looks good, and I haven't even put foundation. I went to the movies yesterday to watch Scream. It was not that bad. I saw it in 4DX. I bring the foundation down on my neck and I just blend it down. I saw this video a while back on Instagram talking about society's values and the values that God has for us. And it was like a pastor, and he was talking about how society likes to put looks and sex first. The boys of Laniere. It was just basically talking about like superficial values that society has today. And I feel like I relate so hard because I've seen it, I've witnessed it at my old job. So when I was working there, I was talking to this guy at the bar. So he was like in his mid to late 20s, and he was talking about how all his relationships failed because it was just physical for him, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he said it was just physical for him for the obvious reason that he just wanted to hook up, right? And I'm not judging him for that. So as I was saying, I feel like commitment becomes less and less common as generations go on, and just as time goes on. I was there once too. This was about like what, 3 years ago? 3 years. I used to think that my man has to look like this. He has to have abs. He has to look like this, and if he doesn't look like this, I don't want him. It's valid to an extent, because I will say looks do play a role. Looks are important, right? But it is not the ultimate priority. People make looks a standard. You cut off opportunities and people because of that. It's not priority. It's not something that should be looked at as like a standard, like, oh, it has to be this, because if it's not this, then you're just down here. That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. That's not how it should be. And those people who put looks and money and all these superficial things up here are the same people that are divorced 10-15 years later and are like, oh yeah, my marriage sucked and this and this and that and da-da-da, and they go on and on and on and give all these arguments. And it's just like, well, what were your values? Like, it goes back to the question, what were your values? What did you value? What were priorities for you? I feel like that's one of the things that God also taught me. What you want is not always what you need. The cliche, like you meet somebody like super attractive, but then you talk to them and they go from like being up to here to like right here. I'm not saying that all attractive people are like naive or like dumb. That's not what I'm saying. You go for something that you think you want, right? And then you talk to them and you kind of realize you went from a 10 to like a -5. Like, I look back at when I used to think like that, and I think like, wow, like I feel like God really shifted my mind in a lot of things, especially that, because I held on to that like for so long. Like, saying all this, like, I'm not trying to make myself seem like I'm like this grandiose figure. Like, girl, I would have came out here looking like Jeffree Star. This is so random, but the girl I'm hanging out with today, she only speaks Spanish because she's from Colombia. Yes, I speak Spanish. No, it's not fluent. There's this one time that I actually talked to this lady and I forgot how to say embarrassed in Spanish. So I said embarazada, and embarazada means pregnant in Spanish. So I told her and I was like, estoy embarazada, and she was like, okay. It was funny, like, and I didn't even notice that I had said that until like 5 minutes later, because I was like, right, it doesn't even sound right. And then I realized I did have a panic attack like last year, I think, or the year before. Take this off. Oh, it looks pretty. Hold on, let's pose. Okay, now I'm going to figure out what I'm gonna wear. Top is from Urban Outfitters, leggings are from Aerie, they're the flared ones that cross over. The jacket is from Cotton On, and shoes, just my Nikes. Let's go. Okay, so I just got home and I ordered this mattress topper off of Amazon. This is how it looks. It's a queen. Like, literally you're sleeping on a cloud. Look at that. And I also got these cups from Amazon with the curved glass straw and like the straight one, like the regular one. I've already used one. It's like good for drinks. And I also got this acrylic organizer for one of my drawers for like my beauty stuff. And I also got this duvet cover set. I have to wash it, but it's linen. It's a waffle duvet cover and it feels really nice, and it had good reviews on Amazon, so I got that as well. So I went to Sephora with my friend and I thought I'd share what I got. This is the first item that I got from Sephora. It's the facial oil. I heard good things about it and one of my favorite YouTubers actually recommended it. Another thing that I got was the Dior Flash Perfect Concealer. There it is. That's the Dior concealer. Okay, so it is about the time. So I have my hair up. So the day has ended. I just want to change. I want to take off my makeup. I want to be in bed and I want to go to sleep. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys my routine on how I take off my makeup. So that always happens when I come in here. Anyways. Oh my god, again, are you kidding me? Anyways, so I'm going to show you guys. What the heck is that? Okay. So I'm going to show you guys my routine and how I take off my makeup. I start with I double cleanse. I used to not cleanse. I used to just use micellar water and then just use a cleanser, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna start double cleansing. It's the Clean at Zero Original Cleansing Balm. I would say that I haven't had a problem with this cleansing balm. I've been using it for about probably a couple months. This is how the jar looks like. It's like almost there. It's like almost gone. So I wet my face and I get about that much. Usually just do that. I rub it in for about a couple minutes just to let all the makeup melt. So this is how my skin looks like now once the makeup is off. So once I finish using the cleansing balm, I use the Peter Thomas Roth face wash. Just get a little bit because this is strong. I use half a pump because it's really strong. I don't hate it, but I just prefer something different just because it makes me sneeze sometimes. I definitely don't have clear skin by any means, but I look a mess. But yeah, so that's about it for my routine on how I take off my makeup. I'm going to go to bed and I'll see you guys tomorrow because I am very tired and I just want to be in my bed.